So I was very fortunate to be privy to his writings, unpublished works, interacted with him on his poems, understood what he's thinking about the city, and then I thought we have enough material to create a show for people in Mumbai to know how he looks at Mumbai and how Mumbai shaped him. And Gulzar Sahab is a sportsman at heart. So that, of course, goes without saying, and his love for this sport. Like I still remember when I asked him about Lekin, the film was about to. So I said, he said 28th September, Lataji's birthday, so we are going to have the Mahorat of the film. Why don't you come? So I said, who will be giving the clap? So he said, the best opener in the world, Sunil Gavaskar. and so all this put together is going to be a very, very special evening. And something which not many people will hear very often. Because this combination is going to be something very new. And that's what I wanted the audiences to have. I'm not denying what others have done with Gulzar Sahab. They've all done exceptional work. Because Gulzar Sahab inspires a certain amount of exceptional expectation.
Welcome to This Week at the NCPA. This is remarkable. A half a century worth of a career. How glorious is that? Gulzar Saab, one of India's finest filmmakers and lyricists, has written poems in Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, and even translated works from Bangla. And it's time to celebrate him all over again, but in a very unique manner. It's a program that's called Aamchi Mumbai, an evening with Gulzar Saab. The venue is Tata Theatre, which is one of his favorite venues. 31st of October, 6:30 p.m. in the evening. Tickets are live now at Book My Show. I urge you to go and get them very quickly because his fans are such that they will make sure it goes houseful. It's curated and presented by Mr. Salim Arif. Music is by Amod Bhatt. And it features Gulzar Saab himself, Vibhavari Apte-Joshi, Hrishikesh Ranade, and a group of musicians, an NCPA presentation. We're very pleased to have Mr. Salim Arif back on the show. He had been here once before where we had a very, very enjoyable conversation. Hi, Salim ji, how are you? Great to see you.
Same here. Thank you. How is everything?
Very well. You know, Gulzar Saab always says that Punjab might have been the mitti or the ground or the earth where he grew up or he was born. But Mumbai is his Karam Bhumi, where he really attained fame, fortune. And if not for Mumbai, a lot of his great poetry could never have reached the common people. So talk about the speciality of Mumbai Shahar, of Aamchi Mumbai in Gulzar Saab's life, which prompted you to conceptualize this and curate this.
You see, the idea was that he remains one of our most accomplished poets, lyricist, filmmaker, writer, entire generations and across the country. But somebody placed in Mumbai could do so much. So what interested me was that his time in Mumbai has kind of shaped his sensibility, shaped his concerns, and also somewhere gave him a worldview which he also admits may not have been possible in a place like Delhi or any other city in the country. So remember, he comes from a small qasbah called Dina, which is now in Pakistan, from the undivided India of at that period. Then he migrated to Delhi. From Delhi, he came to Mumbai. And Mumbai, he came at an age where he was impressionable and he could imbibe, but he had something to offer also. So it wasn't that he wasn't writing poetry before he arrived in Mumbai. But he was into poetry. But it's here that he met some of these stalwarts and he met people who kind of shaped his sensibility, created a kind of space for him in the city, and then gave him a career which we all know has been one of the most illustrious. And he's truly a national treasure because nobody else has got several Filmfare Awards. I think he has the maximum number of Filmfare Awards, plus national awards, and he has Oscar for his lyrics. Then he has the highest honor which you can get in literature, which is the Gyanpit and the Sahitya Academy Award. And in cinema, for his overall contribution, the Dada Saab Phalke Award. So he has this unique distinction, and I've been very fortunate to have known him for the last 37 years or so. The time I came to Mumbai, I've started with him, and in fact, with his Mirza Ghalib television show. So I was very fortunate to be privy to his writings, unpublished works, interacted with him on his poems, understood what he's thinking about the city, and then I thought we have enough material to create a show for people in Mumbai to know how he looks at Mumbai and how Mumbai shaped him.
It is to your credit that whenever Gulzar Saab is asked in interviews by journalists, prying journalists,
Yeah.
who are the people you are close to, he always, of course, takes his daughter Meghna's name. He says Bosky. Apart from Bosky, the names that always feature are two families. One is Vishal Bhardwaj and Rekha Bhardwaj, and the other is Salim Arif and Lubna ji.
Yeah.
So over the years, we know that his closeness to you is well established. I'm very curious to know how this particular conversation is going to go, because you can sit with Gulzar Saab and talk to him for hours
Yeah.
on various themes. But I believe you're going to structure it on
Yeah.
how he has seen the city change over the last
Yes.
60 years.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
interested in knowing the direction of that talk and how
Yeah.
you're going to shape that.
You see, the conversation, obviously, it all starts with it's very difficult at times to explain for someone who has lived here for so long. What strikes you the most about Mumbai? What's your first memory of the city? How different it was from the other cities you had lived in then? So there are few anecdotes, there are few incidents which he's going to talk about, which I don't want to reveal at the moment because it will take away the entire pleasure of being there at that evening. But yes, the direction is obviously going to what the city offered him to begin with and what he offered to the city. So it's a two-way interactive exercise as far as Gulzar Sahib is concerned. While the city has also shaped him in its own way, and he has looked at it from various aspects. So there have been creative artists in Mumbai, people who have looked at the city. Say someone like R.K. Lakshman, through his cartoons, you can see a perspective, or Mario Miranda, or writers like P.L. Deshpande and Vijay Mehta, the theatre personality, or literature writers like Mr. Who Kusum Agredji, who Gulzar Sahib translated his poems from Marathi. And of course, Tagore has been his major inspiration, the starting one. So all those elements are going to come into the conversation. And then we are going to have samples of his poems on Mumbai composed to music. Like he has written a beautiful poem on Mumbai, the city, which is a longish poem composed by Amod, which is about Mumbai, the city, which he looks at Mumbai in a very different image, and that image, the way it functions, and all that. So you have that the eclectic mix of the city is very, very evident in that poem. So that's a very wonderful anthem for the city, if you ask me, because it celebrates the common street man in its own way. Then there is one about rains. Then there is a song about Mumbai, the shallowness of the city at times, the loneliness. Then, of course, his film songs, the famous ones. Some of them will be there, not from the films, but concerning Mumbai. And of course, I'm very keen to include his first song. So we have a bouquet of about 10 songs. Then he is going to recite about 20, 25 poems written on Mumbai, which some of them would be recited for the first time. Some of them have been published. So it's a very interesting mix of conversation, music, and of course, Gulzar Sahib in his own voice, reciting in his own poetry.
Which never fails to deliver goosebumps to all of us.
Yes, yes.
That wonderful baritone, so much sensitivity in the grains in his voice. On a lighter note, I hope you ask him about his passion for tennis. The reason I'm saying that is, there are cricket lovers all over this country.
Yes.
Very rarely do you find a man who is a poet a
Yeah.
director, filmmaker who's so passionate about the game of tennis. I think apart from Nasir Saab and him, and more recently Vishal Saab, also because of the Gulzar Saab influence, are so passionate about tennis and, you know, yesteryear's born Bjorn Borg to current generation Roger Federer.
Yes. In fact, since you bring this up, he was advised by doctors of late not to play. But believe you me, till about 7, 8 years ago, he was on the court. And he enjoyed that bit. That 2 hour of workout in the morning, you can say the companionship with his fellow club members who are extremely non-poetic, very different, and they have their own way of pulling his leg at times. So it's very interesting to see him with that circle where he used to go and play tennis with. And my memory, the earliest memory was when I was in Mumbai and we were doing Raleigh. So whenever there was a free evening, I would just present myself at his house and he would welcome me. And in the evening, we'll sit and watch a McEnroe Borg Classic
Wow.
or a 188 innings of Gavaskar. He would in fact tell me that I have got this tape of that match. So when are you coming? We'll see it together. So I used to land up at his house and we would watch these matches and enjoy the evening. It was a great experience.
How lovely.
Sharing it with someone you don't expect would be so much interested in sports.
Lovely.
And Gulzar Sahab is a sportsman at heart. So that, of course, goes without saying. And his love for this sport. Like I still remember when I asked him about Lekin, the film was about to. So I said, he said 28th September, Lataji's birthday. So we are going to have the Mahorat of the film. Why don't you come? So I said, who will be giving the clap? So he said, the best opener in the world, Sunil Gavaskar. And believe you me, it was Sunil Gavaskar who gave the clap.
How wonderful.
For the opening shot. So it was so interesting to meet someone who could look at the other side of life beyond cinema and with so much of engagement.
I want to ask you the choice of Amod Bhatt and Vibhavari Apte-Joshi and Hrishikesh Ranade.
Yeah.
As part of the team which is going to be presenting the music, because Gulzar Saab is such a personality that you can go to anybody in the music fraternity and the singing fraternity and say, will you do this? And they'll say yes at the drop of a hat. So why did you curate and ask these particular group of musicians, singers, music composers to join you?
As you said, anybody would have agreed. But the point was that I needed someone with a fresh insight into his poetry, with fresh sounds, with fresh take, and composing his nazm, like the composition of Mumbai, his poem, or the Car Ka Engine Band Karke. Now these are very unusual poems for music. In recitation they work great, but to put it to music and make something musical out of it, when I tried with Amod, because Amod comes with the lineage of B.V. Karant. He's a disciple of Karanji, who was a genius with the sound and music. So he brings in a certain amount of theatricality, a certain amount of innovation into music, which I thought was needed for Gulzar Saab's poetry. And then, of course, Vibhavari is such a beautiful, settled voice. And it's just that not too many people know about her because she's not based in Mumbai and she's in Pune. But she works for Ilaiyaraaja and she works for Hridaynathji. And she's going to do this Lataji homage on 28th in Pune with Hridaynathji. So she was the choice, and Hrishikesh also. I find him very versatile, very focused, and one of the better singers I've come across. And interestingly, I've worked with all these three since 2012 and 2013. So there is a kind of relationship also there. And so it all comes together. And of course, Gulzar Saab's blessings and Dr. Swarnlata Rao, who also agreed to these names because she has such a keen sense of music and what should I say, the overall aesthetics of presentation, which is what matters the most to a show at NCPA, because we all hold NCPA in very high esteem. For us, it's a very revered space. So we come there with a lot of. It's a kind of pilgrimage for all the artists who come there and work. We have that kind of a relationship with that space, and I have been very fortunate to have a relationship with NCPA which goes long back, 25 years or more. So all this put together is going to be a very, very special evening, and something which not many people will hear very often, because this combination is going to be something very new. And that's what I wanted the audiences to have. I'm not denying what others have done with Gulzar Sahab. They've all done exceptional work, because Gulzar Sahab inspires a certain amount of exceptional expectation, and people deliver that. But I thought it's high time we do the theatrical side of his poems also in a way which is very different than film music. So the whole ethos is going to be of a very different kind of sound and music. When I say sound, I'm not saying instruments and otherwise, but the way the phonetics of the composition would be. Because Gulzar Saab's phonetics is what makes his poetry so alive to composition. The sheer phonetics of the words. And that I think Amod has captured very well in his non-film songs.
The curation of the poems itself, was it Gulzar Saab himself who said, these are the poems that I'm getting, or did he lay them in front of you and say, Salim,
we had,
curating
just to share with you, we have done with that exercise. Out of a body of about, say, 45, 50, we chose 20, 18 very important ones, which kind of cover several aspects of the city. And also, some of them are going into composition. So it's going to be the essential Gulzar Saab's perspective of the city.
Wonderful. Aamchi Mumbai, an evening with Gulzar, Tata Theatre, 31st October, 6:30 p.m. Tickets are live, going out very fast at Book My Show, as well as at the venue, which is the National Centre of Performing Arts. Is curated and presented by Salim Arif. Music by Amod Bhatt. Features Gulzar Saab himself, Vibhavari Apte-Joshi, Hrishikesh Ranade, and a group of musicians. An NCPA presentation. We'll see you there. Thank you, Salim Bhai, for your valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you, Hrishikesh.
Bye-bye.
It was long overdue. Thank you. Bye.
One world, your station.